Aloha Stampers, I'm Cheryl Hamilton, and today I want to talk to you about a bundle from the holiday catalog. It's on page 40 and it's called the Ornamental Envelopes bundle. Now, this is one of the first things I knew for sure that I wanted to get when I saw this catalog, because I love to decorate my envelopes and I thought there were some cute ideas on here. Now, Monday I had a class where we made a card using this and played around with the envelopes, and so I've got some tips to show you from what I learned. Okay, so stay tuned. I hope you learn a lot. I'll start with a simple card that we made in class. You begin with Whisper White cardstock, the thick one, because it's a base, and I cut it 8.5 by 5.5, scored it down the middle at 4 1/4. Okay, so just fold that. Okay, so I am taking this really pretty stamp from the set. Okay, here it is. It's called Ornamental Envelopes, and it's got some really fun things that you can work with. But I'm going to take this and just stamp it on the side. And if you were at class, you know that I was stamping and we had a hard time getting, especially this flower one, to stamp a really good image. And just pressing hard and doing all these things. And finally, I think it was Helen, is like, have you tried using that Stampin' Pierce mat? I'm like, oh no, I forgot about that. That's supposed to be really helpful with photopolymer. Well, that was genius, Helen. I'll tell you what this is because they almost discontinued it. This mat is called a Stampin' Pierce mat, $5, and it's number 126199. And protects your work surface, gives you even pressure and ink coverage. Ideal for photopolymer stamps. So thank goodness enough people complained when they were going to take it out of there and put it back. And I just need to remember this because it was kind of really smart to do this. So the paper I was using, I don't even remember what it is. I'm sorry. I have to look it up. I bet you it's on sale. So I will put it in the comments, but I don't know if it's 'tis the season. Anyway, I'm just going to put a strip down here. So the colors I chose went with this paper, and they're Shaded Spruce and Cherry Cobbler. So that's how I started up with these. So I'm going to ink this up in Shaded Spruce first. It's kind of a big stamp, so I'm doing it upside down. So I make sure I cover it really well. Now here's where my Stampin' Pierce mat comes in handy, and it'll help it so that it really absorbs all the ink. See, it's marvelous, because you guys at class, we would do this, and sometimes the whole inside was blank, but this one never did it that good. So I'm so happy. This is the secret. Okay, so now I just kind of grabbed a strip from this paper, from my mystery paper that I can't remember what it is. I think I'll do plaid. Sorry, I didn't measure this for you. It is probably 3/4 inches by 5.5. Now I'm going to ink up my stamp with Cherry Cobbler. And put it on the piercing mat. These are going to be cut out. Yay! That's really nice. And it's got this really neat die cut for all the ornaments. So here's my big shot. I still haven't ordered a stamp and emboss machine, those new ones, but I think this month I've got to break down and do it because I want to see, you know, I want to see if they're any different and how they work, but I've heard good things about them. So, okay, I'll try to get it on there really straight. That looks good. So they just pop right out. So I'll bring my card back, and this is where you can just pop a few of them up. Usually you know, if you have one that kind of messed up, then make sure you put one on there. But if you don't, then just choose any random ones you want. Okay, and I'm gonna use dimensionals and mini dimensionals. The big one, I'll just put that probably needs 2 of them. Where is it? There it is. I think I changed what I was doing. Oh, it's fine. I think I'll do one more because I like them popped up. There you go, isn't that cute? I think it needs some little bling. Now save these for something cute you're gonna do. I've got the holiday rhinestone basic jewels, and they've got the red and green that I want. So I don't know which one to do. Just do green. And I'll put a red one in here. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. But see, I don't know what to do with these. Maybe I'll leave them. Okay, I'm happy. I like the embellishments. It's really fun to add those. Okay, so I'm going to do a greeting here. Let me do Season's Greetings. This is a really neat stamp set too. Itty Bitty Christmas. Isn't that cute? It just has small sentiments. I love the curved ones, and I love how the fonts are so different. It's really, I'm using this a lot. Okay, so let me do it in green, shaded spruce, on a little scratch paper. And then I'm going to punch it out with the classic label punch. When you punch it out, it's not going to work if you put it in upside down because you can't tell where you're punching. So turn the punch over and slide it in so you can see exactly what you're doing. And press it down to hold it, and then with 2 hands you punch it. I'm gonna put a couple of those small glue dots on here, or they're not glue dots, dimensionals, to pop it up. Let's do 3. What do we do without these small dimensionals? They're really nice. I guess we used to cut the regular dimensionals in half a lot. Okay, so for this, I could either put it there or there. I think I'm gonna put it here, right under those guys. Okay, so there's my card, and next we'll play around with the envelope. Well, time to show you some ideas for the envelopes. And first I'm going to show you a few mistakes I made. Okay, so they've got this gorgeous big die, and I thought, oh, that's for cutting out the back of envelopes, for one thing anyway. And so this is the first one I made, and it's kind of a mess. What I did was I mean, it's pretty on the inside, but I first cut it out, and with the Big Shot, and I decided I'm going to try using snail on the inside, and then so I did that. It glues down really well, and then I just rubbed it off as much as I could, but it looks dirty. I mean, some of this stuff got on there, so I'm not happy. And so I don't think I'd advise snail. Another thing is, be careful where you place your, I'm talking about the big one. That's the one it's more tricky. So if you place it, if you try to place it down here, you're going to cut off a bunch of the sticky envelope part, So you want to place it towards the fold of the flap, so that you still have a place to lick and seal your envelope. That's one tip. And because this is the nice thing about this, is I've done all the mistakes for you, so I can tell you everything not to do. That was my one I really didn't like. Let me see what else I'm doing. Okay, this one, I did it a good job because it's a little crooked, but I put it below the sticky stuff. So let me try to stick some pretty paper on there. And this is 'Tis the Season. I finally found my stack here. Here it is. So it's called 'Tis the Season 6x6 Designer Series paper. And it has on your papers, it tells you basically what it goes with. So basic black, cherry cobbler, garden green, real red, shaded spruce, and whisper white. But I am going to, here it is. I took a piece, for my envelopes, I am cutting out 5 inches by 2.5 inches. And what I do to simplify my life, I figure it all out at the beginning, and then I put all my cheat notes all over my thing. This one had a lot of cheat notes because I made a lot of mistakes. But anyway, once I've done, and I know this is for the regular envelope, that's what I'm going to be using mostly. But once I've used it for the note card and the 3x3, I'll make some other ones. Because look, it has, it's got this. This is bigger. I think this is probably for the note cards. And then, come here, see this little one? So that's for 3x3s. So this thing has a ton of stuff in it. I barely touched it yet. Okay, I'm taking my 5 by 2.5 piece of Designer Series paper, and I'm gonna cut a scallop on the top. So I'm just getting it kind of centered. Cutting a scallop. So there's the piece that I have. Now this one's simpler than the really big cutout. So I'm going to use, I'm not going to worry about all these little teeny places in between, I'm going to basically put a little line of Tombow, see that? And I don't want to put a ton because it'll get all gooped up in the holes. And I'm going to put a little bit below. And then I kind of want the bottom to be stuck also. So I'm going to just put some on my designer series paper along the bottom, just like that. I'm sliding it in, not very far, but just to get it started. And I'm going to put it right up to where the sticky part of the envelope is. Make sure it's pretty much in the center. I think it's stuck. Oh, there it goes. There. And then I'm done. And if you look on the outside, I think that's going to be stuck enough. It's not going to get hung up on anything. Be careful when you're folding it to fold it, you know, make sure that you're creasing it on the envelope line, and then you can get it a really good fold using your bone folder. Okay, so that one's simple and done. And I did, what did I do wrong with this one? Oh, so I did do two that I really, really like with the big one. I figured out a trick, you guys. And so I think it's because for the first one using snail, like I said, it was kind of dirty. I mean, it just, you know, it went all over the place. And then if you're trying to use Tombow, it's just too much, you know, to put your little dots all over. That was a lot of time. So let me show you my trick, okay? See if you guys like this. Okay, so I'm going to start with, remember these? Gosh, I get so much stuff on my desk that I can't find anything. Let me scoot it over. Okay. But remember these adhesive sheets? They're called multi-purpose adhesive sheets. And I use these periodically. They're just wonderful for sticking things down. And so I have cut my adhesive sheet for the big die. I cut it at 4 3/4 by 2. Now I'm going to place it on the inside flap of my envelope. That's the first thing I'm doing. So let me see if I can get the sticky thing off. You're trying to pull that thing that says Sizzix off of there. This part is totally... Now I'm going to cut out this big pretty die using my Big Shot. So you know your envelope can't go this way or it's too long, it's gonna scrunch up your envelope. I'm just taking it, putting it sideways, and again, I don't want to put it too much near the top because that's where the part to seal the envelope is. I'm putting it down pretty far towards the fold of the envelope, centering it. And the other thing I found is the envelope flap is really thin. So for that reason, you either need to add a shim, which means a piece of paper on top to press it down harder, like even typing paper or something, or it seemed to work fine if I ran it through twice. So I just ran it through back and forth. And then I go back again. Okay, so when I take it off someplace, there's this. Where am I? Oh, here it is. This is my old thing to run it through. It comes out really easily. Except for one little dot. Come on. Okay. See, so I've got a real nice cutout. I've got sticky stuff on the other side. So before I take it off and apply this, I want to cut a scallop on this again. I think I'll do it backwards. So I'm trying to center it. So there's my piece of paper, and I'm bringing my envelope back and peeling off the now don't just rip it off. If you do that, it might take a lot of the sticky stuff with it. So slowly peel it off, and you can see, or maybe you can't, you can see it's sticky. See the shiny stuff? So I'm gonna, this one had red. Okay, I'm gonna stick it on here, trying to center it, and then put it just underneath here. Okay, so it all sticks down really well. If you just rub it, the whole thing is stuck. It's not going to get stuck on anything. Isn't that pretty? And then to do the, okay, let me fold it on the crease. And then I'll show you how I do. They have some lines in the stamp set that I really liked. Okay, and because I know I'll go crazy if the lines are crooked, I put it on the Stamparatus. And so make sure everything's always in the corner there when you start. I made a mark here so I can just know my envelope goes right here, and it's flush against this right side. And then I'm going to use, where's the ink? Sheesh. I found it. Shaded Spruce. I'm going to use Shaded Spruce and just lightly touch these little dots, okay? And press them down. There, I kind of like that. Just these, and then they have some other fun things. Really love this Stamparatus for making things straight, but they have some other fun things in the stamp set that can be tricky, so I'll just show you because I've made a couple of mistakes. They're really fun though, you just have to be aware. So this one is for a corner, and for some reason, because it's not, you know, it only is at the corner, but it's not like a full circle or something, it tends to want to get ink down here. And also these little dots are so delicate that you don't want to press too hard, it'll smush them. So I'm going to do it in the green, and just be careful of the corners, because, I mean, be careful with this one. Let's see if I can do it. Yay. Well, except for that. So I did have a little mark in there. I think I'm going to have to forgive myself, because it's really hard to get things perfect when you're stamping, but we try to come close. Let me do this corner. There, and you could just keep going or whatever, but that's kind of fun. Okay, I hope I've given you lots of ideas here. And please leave me any questions if you have, you know, if you have any problems with this set, but I think we've only begun to dive into this one. It's really fun. So thanks so much for watching me, and I hope you subscribe to my channel and do some stamping today. Okay, bye-bye.